Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is threatening to not raise the debt ceiling. A new study by the White House Council of Economic Advisors found that if the debt ceiling isn't lifted, we are likely to have a repeat of the 2008 Great Recession, except this time the devastation could be far worse. Kevin McCarthy is a turkey that should not be playing chicken with the world economy. The shocking report starkly warned, quote, the nightmare scenario of a protracted standoff over the debt limit, or one that lasts about 3 months, would lead to a 6% contraction in the size of the economy. The stock market would also fall by an estimated 45%. Could you imagine that? If you don't think this catastrophe would impact your life, you're wrong. The report cautions that failing to increase the nation's borrowing limit could wipe out more than 8 million jobs. This would cause an immediate halt to consumer spending and massive defaults. If you're a homeowner, you might not be able to pay your mortgage. If you're a landlord, your newly unemployed tenants likely won't pay their rent. The middle class would become poor, and the chronically poor could become destitute, which could lead to increases in crime. We would all be affected by such a ridiculous, crazy gambit that McCarthy is foisting on the American people. We are only in this situation because to win the speakership, McCarthy made radical promises and kowtowed to extremists like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Matt Gaetz. Kevin McCarthy doesn't care if 8 million Americans lose their jobs as long as he gets to keep his job. I blame the media for this political standoff. Many reporters and pundits, especially on television, are economically illiterate. They don't understand that we raise the debt ceiling to pay America's bills from laws that have already passed. This isn't some new spending proposal to be negotiated. It's simply paying for items America already bought and programs we already promised to fund. If we don't pay our bills, the world loses confidence in America's word and questions our financial and political stability, as they should. Without confidence, you have economic chaos, such as recessions, even depressions. Our country's economy is barely recovering from COVID. This is the last thing we need. Speaker McCarthy is saying that Republicans won't raise the debt limit unless Biden agrees to trillions of dollars in cuts. Unfortunately, reporters who don't understand this issue are confusing the American people by asking the ridiculous question, why won't Biden negotiate with McCarthy? You've seen this, haven't you? Why won't he negotiate? Biden can't negotiate because there is nothing to negotiate. It's the equivalent of a person going on a shopping spree in Rodeo Drive and buying all kinds of fancy clothes, then trying to avoid paying the tab by attempting to renegotiate over the phone with the MasterCard phone agent. It's ridiculous, and it can't happen. What McCarthy is proposing is inventing a new, unstable budgetary process. In McCarthynomics, Congress passes laws and agrees to fund programs. Then they schizophrenically turn around and bizarrely threaten to not pay for the programs and laws they previously voted to pass. McCarthy is no different than a bank robber handing a teller a note. Give me the money or else. If Biden caves to McCarthy's crazy demands, our entire system for passing bills and funding laws will quickly unravel. Still, you have clueless media calling for negotiations instead of excoriating Republicans for their extortion. Even threatening default could have catastrophic consequences for the economy. The report found, quote, brinksmanship on the debt limit could cost 200,000 jobs. Refusing to raise the debt limit for even a week could cost 500,000 jobs. The sick joke is that Republicans pretend they care about cutting costs, but they offer tax cuts to billionaires. How do you square that circle? They also support corporate welfare and oppose hiring more IRS agents to collect taxes. So Republican demands aren't serious. It's all about posing as tough for the MAGA mob, even at the expense of causing the next Great Depression. I'd like to think that Republicans would come to their senses, but it's difficult when virtually everything they say or do is senseless.